All right. Good morning, YouTube. Ooh, that sounds so weird coming from me. Ew. Good morning and welcome to Mo Knows featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. All right. I'm gonna be back because I gotta go do something while y'all settle up in the chat. Today is a little different. I'm gonna do story time, and I haven't done story. I haven't It's time for a Mo moment. Mo Mo Mo. Ooh, that's what I should have called it. A Mo moment. It was time for that. Okay. Hold on a second. I wanted to check. Gotta gotta get rid of that. Gotta get a gotta get a Don't know how much I want to put that to that. Some days I just be really on something. Okay, let me go. Be right back. I gotta do something. interesting morning. It looks like it's just going to be me. Good conversation then. Okay. Beautiful lies. All right. Here we go. Welcome to Motown. There's some days when I'm at my best and my finest. Today I'm just here. I'm just in the places where I'm just here. But I see some people start their lives up and then they take their phone and stick. I'm like, what we doing here? Anyway, I came to you straight from Zoom, so there's not going to be any special stuff going on today. Beautiful eyes. I've had one of those weeks. I had one of those weeks. Good morning, Miss G. I saw you was live, but I was in the car. I was loading a water heater into the car. What a life. Well, let's get into it. Good morning. I really came live this morning because I asked the gentleman who was in my chat this week. I asked him for an interview, so I didn't want to renege on my request on my end. So I'm here this morning. I have until maybe 9ish. I'm supposed to pick up tea, but I'm also expecting repair. I'm expecting the repair guy. And I'm still gonna pick up tea. Good morning. All right, so here's the thing. Okay. I've been doing big girl stuff for a while now. Those of you who know, but those of you who don't know. And you're probably still not gonna know. But in any event, I've been doing big girl shit. And a couple of days ago, the water heater turned off. So, down here, daddy's little girl didn't have a clue. So she went down to the basement and she opened up the boiler area and she really took a look at it with different eyes on. So I called somebody 6 fucking years. And that'll be another story for another day. But I called 6 years and I'm like, hey, the water heater went out and I'm standing here in front of it. What do I do? And he was like, did you look at a YouTube video? I cringe. You know why I cringe? Because every time I'm on this YouTube and I run into men on this YouTube, they talk about all the shit they have to do, all the shit women expect them to do because they're the man, right? I gotta be the protector. I gotta be this. Negroes, y'all gotta be capable of doing other things than laying the fucking stick. You got to be better than a fuck. I could tell you that much. At least for me, you just got to be better than a fuck, because when stuff goes fucking wrong, you want to be able to have that man that can hold that shit down. God, I was in the car this morning crying over Chico because in my life, the only men that I ever knew to hold a woman down was first my father, and then when I met Chico. And I ain't met, I got some in between, but they're not one man. I can find the characteristics of a man, pieces of it in men, but I can't find the whole thing in one man, other than maybe what my father brought to his table. And that's why, God bless a daughter who has a dad and a functioning dad in her life, because, it's hard to replace what man is supposed to be when your dad was just everything that man should have been. Hey, JT. So in any event, I'm on the phone with 6 years and I'm like, so I'm on the phone with 6 years and I'm like, so you don't know how to fix the shit either? Like, so he's like, no, well, what happened? It stopped fucking working. That's what happened. It fucking stopped working. Like, it's no, like, there's no big conversation here. It stopped working. So like, it's like, what do I do now? Right. So I'm standing in front of it. So we got instructions all over the front, plastered all over the front of it. Right. So I'm getting older now. I snap a picture of this shit, blow it up. It got all the instructions there. I start doing it. Then I start realizing some shit I didn't realize about this fucking water heater shit. Right. I could have had hotter water. Right. If it wasn't at this low ass temperature part that it was at, that's why the water was taken. So I'm looking at this whole fucking dial thing in a new light. I'm sitting there like, oh man, this shit is getting pumped up, whatever. Well, but the guy told me yesterday, don't do that shit, because he said you burn out the thing right here. But anyway, that's the story of the water tank and thing, right? So then, like, he texts me back. So I go through that whole day with still trying to start this shit up. So it starts and it's on for a little while, then it stops. It starts, it's on for a little while. So I'm up here lighting fucking pilots like a bitch, right? So then I call up my sister and I'm like, have the repair dude come out, because I'm living the royal life here. Have the repair dude come out and look at the thing. So she's like, for what? It turned off. Call the repair dude and have him come and look at the thing, right? So she got to contact me and be like, I let the policy lapse. So I'm going to pay it now, but you're going to have to wait 90 days before you can call a repair person. But the good thing about it is I can make an appointment now, because of COVID. It's about 90 days out before they come, unless it's emergency. So I say to her, it's a fucking emergency, bitch. There's no hot water. It's a fucking emergency. Okay. So she's like, well, if you get it to come on. So this is a bitch in her house with hot water. So I'm like, okay, bye. Ain't got no time for you, boo. So I go to bed that night, go to book club, go to bed that night. Before I go to bed, I text 6 years. And I was like, this is why I'm happy being alone, being alone mode, because why didn't you even text me back to find out what happened? Like, I don't care that you couldn't help me, right? And that's it. So he texts me back and he's like, oh, because you hung up the phone on me as usual, because I could not accommodate your needs at the time. Something to that effect. It was a little bit more short, but that was the inference of it. And I'm like, so he got a diary. One for him to grow on, right? So I have to remind, and I hate, so when you have fucked up with me for life is when I go down the list of why I'm the baddest bitch that you ever met. Boom, 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 boom. Now, one or two things. The person either didn't respond because they are so wiped out, or a person didn't respond because they are so over me. So we're on the same page, 6 years. But I don't think that's what it is. There was a response about their own personal health and what they was going through. And right now, I don't care. That took me for a blow. Because normally I care about everybody around me. And I honestly was like, I don't give a fuck. So I started to ask myself, yo, Mo, are you becoming like the bitches you talk about? Are you becoming one of those self-centered, everything's about you? Are you one of those, Mo? Well, the answer would come a couple of days later. But I wrote it in my journal before I went to bed that night. And I'm like, Mo, are you becoming one of those women that you do not like? Good question for Mo. Okay, following day, still no no hot water. But now when I go down there to test to do this thing, we don't light at all. We're just done. We're done. So few people I'm not fucking with on day 2. I'm not fucking with my sister. I'm not fucking with 6 years, 8 years, 10 moments. I'm not fucking with nobody like that. I'm moving on with myself. Boom, 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 boom. Call up, start looking around, HVAC guys, boom, 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 whole big shit. How much it costs for this guy to come out, that guy to come out, this one to come out, this one to do this one. So I'm listening to prices and I'm just like, first mom, I'm like, Mo, you need somebody to tell you what's wrong. But anyway, I call up, I get a quote, up to snapping pictures, I get a quote, right? And then it fucking hits me. This guy is giving me a quote. So it's Home Depot. I get a quote. He tells me about setting up. I ask him about because what we got in here is a G. So we all know G. Anybody heard G? Right? This nigga telling me about some shit I never even heard of. Now I'm up here watching YouTube videos about different water heaters, which is the best one. This brand, this one name that, this one name that. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that was the position I was in. So I'm looking them up and I'm trying to figure out who's who, what's what, whatever. Okay, so now I go ahead and contact. So, and remind me by the end of this shit, I have to cancel an appointment. So the dude texts me. He said they could come on Friday. He gives me a quote. All right. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I go to bed that night and I'm thinking, I'm like, Mo, you sent this dude fucking pictures. He gave you a price based on pictures. He's gonna come in here, see your little dumbass, and he's gonna have another price for you when he get here that motherfucking day. Okay, fine. Boom. He didn't respond to me with what time on Friday. So Friday morning, I go back to Home Depot. And the Home Depot person puts the request in again. They're calling it a lead. So it wasn't even a real bona fide appointment. Okay. It was just a lead. So finally the dude calls me back and he's like, all right, I'm trying to see if I could get a crew out there because I have a lot of appointments on the deck or whatever. So we could do you on Sunday. So I was like, okay, so you could do me on Sunday. He's like, yeah, and I'll start out early in the morning, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, good, dude. Good. Got you. You're the man. You're the motherfucking man. Right? This is me on the phone. If you know me, you know that he was not the motherfucking man right then and there. He was a motherfucking fool. Thought he got me as a fool. Anyway, I pick T up from work and I am driving through the projects. I actually took a turn. So T is like, where you going, mommy? She said, what are you doing? Why are we coming through here? Right? I said, I'm just feeling a certain kind of way this morning. I'm going to stop at the liquor store over there. Right? She goes, old spot. I just need his spirit in me. So I parked my car. This is a new car for me in the hood. Last time I've been over there, I was in AJ. Now I got mama guns. So I pull up in front of the liquor store, double park like a real bitch would, right? Get out the car, has his lights on, walked in front. about to walk in the liquor store. Dude standing there. He's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And so I go to pull down my mask. I was like, it's me, Mo. He was like, girl, shut your mouth. You don't ever have to introduce yourself. I know who you is. Baddest bitch over here. I was like, really? He was like, man, you put some work in. You put some work in. People, he said, we just went through Christmas and stuff. People was just asking about you, like, where's she at? What's she doing? He was like, yeah, we know you over there. I was like, how y'all know I'm over there? He's like, everybody, Mo, you could leave the hood, but the hood is not gonna leave you. We know where you at. Something go down. We know where you at. We know where you was at in Jersey. Well, that wasn't hard, but anyway, I was like, oh, I said, well, Mo needs a plumber. He said, Mo got a plumber then. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, don't say nothing else. He was like, you want to be in the house like next hour? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, I'll send somebody through. Got you. I got you. I got you. That's the only words I heard. I got you. Get in the car. I said to T, he didn't even ask me the address for anything, but he got me. Okay, fine. He had me. Some dude called me on the phone talking about I'm coming to look at the thing. And I was like, who? He was like, just gave me the name. I was like, all right, big top. Dude shows up. I got him on camera, y'all. I'm getting good at this. Dude shows up. Dude comes through. Dude looks at everything. He said, bitch, not only I left a part of the story out. So now after day 1, day 2, the boiler shut down. So apparently the boiler uses something that comes from the water tank. So it does work together. They work together somehow. And when one is down, the other motherfucker took the lead and he went down too. Oh, and I asked the question. I was like, do you think the ball is gonna I asked the question. So now we found out the answer. The answer is yes. So dude came, he looked, he was looking. Oh no, next thing went to a car. He's banging shit, doing shit, blah, 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 blah. And he says to me, he triggered the heat. The heat came back on because bitch got heaters galore running inside the place, right? He says, so I'm gonna send a team out here. I'm gonna get you somebody to come, and it's gonna be all right. They're gonna do what they gotta do. They're gonna tell you what it is, right? So I was like, really? So I was like, well, how much? Because now I'm thinking like he's the estimate dude. So he was like, your money ain't good here, sis. You fam. Yo, I cried so fucking hard. Because y'all people on this shit, on the YouTube, y'all be like, oh, we fam. What's up, fam? Hi, fam. No, that's motherfucking fam right there. That's the motherfucking fam story for you. That's at least to me, where I come from, that's motherfucking fam. He said, your money ain't good here. Other guys come out, they're older men now. Somebody daddy came out, they doing the work, boom, 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 boom. Got the heat on. You need a water tank. You really do need a water tank. The 2 guys are arguing about the water tank. They arguing about the water tank, which one I need to get, right? And the guy's like, nah, get the one from Lowe's. We up here on the app looking at prices or something. We're looking at prices and shit. So the guy is like, yeah. So I said, well, how much for the work? So the guy was like, hold on a minute. So he goes and makes a phone call. He was like, do I charge her? So he was like, what you gotta do? Blah, 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 blah. He said, what you want? He was like, this, yo, homie is on the phone negotiating for me. So he's like, 500 for the work on the No, 600 for the work on the water heater and 500 for the work on the whatever the fuck that is, the heater, whatever. They gotta buy a part and plus whatever the parts are. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that the quote I got from whatever their names is was about it was close to 3 G's just for the water heater work. And the other quote, because I did call one of my friends who does real estate or whatever. So one of her guys, still without seeing what needed to be done, gave me another quote of whatever. This dude is doing this shit for $500 and $600, whatever. Cool. But I heard him speaking and he was like, yo, this is old house, old work, boom, 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 boom. They looked at shit and just not. So all I was thinking about was I be trying so hard to leave the projects and get the projects out of me. And the projects have been, and I've always said this, the best part of my motherfucking life ever. So anybody on this YouTube that talks about Mo's life or tries to tell you anything about me and they want to be like, because I've been cussed out. No, that was a great motherfucking deal. Okay. That's a great motherfucking deal. These are older men. So now I'm like talking to my sister and I'm like, I don't think it's fair. She's like, I ain't got no money to give you. So you better, whatever you got, that's what it's gonna be. Bitch. And that's about it. So I called a guy last night. He was like, no, Mo, just that's what he said. That's what I negotiated. That's it. He was calling me to find out because he called me last night to make sure I got it. Because he said, Mo, I know about your stubbornness. Do you got it? If you don't, I'm there. I'll bring it to you. Whatever you missing, whatever you short, let me know. I got you. And I was like, I'm not short, but at the end of the day, he was like, no, I don't want you to be big girl, whatever. I go out the fucking door this morning in an envelope is the money. That's the fam. I'm gonna say this one more fucking time. That's that fam. When people say fam, and Tia's like, Mom, there's something stuck in the fucking thing. She opened the door. I go look at the camera thing, and there he was putting the envelope in the door for me late last night. I went out this morning. I bought what I need to buy, all the parts that they told me to get. My little laundry list when I went into Lowe's. I thought I was a plumber, but I got all the pieces and everything. That's about it. This is interesting. The start of a new tax season is fast approaching this year. The Internal Revenue Service is strongly encouraging people to stick to filing their taxes online and not on paper. Okay. The IRS, we would love to file. Mo would love to file online, right? Can you send me that code so I can file online? Because y'all still owe me a year. But before you do that, you should be aware of the major change from the IRS that might affect the way you're able to file online and access other online tools. You people be killing me. If you do all your taxes online rather than on paper, the IRS is gearing up to make a major change in November. Agency announced that it was updating how users sign and verify their identity for certain online services. The IRS will now use ID.me, an identity verification tool for signing services. Yeah. La 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 la. So he negotiated what was in his pocket. Um, bam, boom, the fam. So I said I was returned. I can't even get my P. No, they mailed it to you in the mail. Cause I got one for Latia, but they didn't send me one because they ain't do no taxes for me. Cause I guess my shit is still sitting in paper form somewhere else, you know. But they sent me one for T. But it's amazing. They sent one for T because she gonna have to pay them some taxes. But me, the bitch that you got all my money up in the IRS. Um, that's that. Yeah, story time. So I'm feeling like I woke up, I took T to work, but I was driving, right? Because I'm all in my emotion, you know, emotional me. But I was driving and I was thinking to myself, and I'm saying to myself, I had the greatest man alive that ever lived. And that was it. So I mean, people always say they got you. You never know what that really means or whatever. Oh, you mean, oh yeah, you mean, okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah, this is some new shit with them. I was just reading what they said. It says the IRS emphasizes taxpayers can pay or file their taxes without submitting a selfie or other information to a third party identity verification company. An agency spokesman said in a statement per UPI, tax payments can be made from a bank account. Oh, yeah, they're going to emphasize how you can make your payments. T made her payment last year. We don't even know if they did it because I did T's taxes. Yeah, that is interesting. Mm, I did. Mm, IRS got some shit with them because I did T's taxes and my taxes at the same time. I mailed both in as paper taxes because we didn't have the code last year. Um and she's the only one got a letter from her. I didn't even think about it when I got there. But our taxes went to different addresses because she had to pay and I had a refund. They said, fuck you people with the refunds. They only want to talk to those people that gotta pay them. Yeah, so that's about it. So today I'm gonna have the gas this water heater installed and hopefully nothing else goes wrong or what have you. Um I wonder if I gotta be very careful what I say on the world. But that's the crux of the story. And that's about it. Yeah, so that's just it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So that's it. That's everything. Um I sometimes I listen to what people said other people said about me and I just be like folks can't relate what was the saying they was saying up here? You can't compete where you can't compare. You can't compare where you can't compete. Don't compare where you can't compete. I find that to be a truth with me. What am I talking about specifically? I'm talking about I think I'm back to jealousy again, but I'm actually talking about what you bring to the table in relationships with people and how people receive you. Um, I get treated the way that I'm treated based on what work I put in. And I think when I came here on it, no, I don't even think. I know when I came here on the internet, I came here with all my street principalities, all the things that had me winning when I was on the curb. Those are the things I came to the YouTube with. I came with that feistiness of being a New Yorker. I came with that wide-eyed openness to try something new. But more importantly, I came with my street cred. And I stupidly or ignorantly thought that transferred into this space. I thought when I interacted with the men here that they was on that level. They understood street shit. But they really wasn't. I probably never been to the hood. They've been through the hood, but they never been to the hood. And they know it, but they rep something on here that says something different. So I had, and I approached the way I engage with folks it on that same level, especially in my season 1. And then I was so surprised when the men came back like pussies. Yeah, today I'm talking about men. When the men returned as pussies with their tails hanging down behind them. That's all I saw in season 1. One crybaby after another one big fat ass crybaby after another fat ass crybaby, or a skinny ass crybaby, or a losing ass crybaby. But that's what I saw from the men around here. And I'm gonna stick with big fat ass crybabies because that's what it came down to. People try to pretend like they hard when they was really on some real pussy shit from the gate. You know, long time ago we figured out who was real and who was fake. And there was some people that I still held at a higher regard and said that they was a little bit they had some street cred on here. But there was just like some shit that happened around here that was just crazy. And then when you sat around and you listened to people, males, try to make videos and destroy a woman, right? And this is not just me, right? This is other women out here. They've done the same thing with other women. They made videos when they got angry and they go after them. So I'm just gonna say like the real Yvonne, making videos about her tearing down her who she is and everything like that. The who else? The list of people go on and on and on when people made, especially the men, when they made videos attacking the women. No News is Good News with Gary Gnu. Y'all saw endless, I didn't watch them, but y'all saw endless amount of videos where he berated women on here. There was a litany of them about me. I just didn't see them. He had a sidekick at the time that indulged him. But at the end of the day, it was a goofy group of men out here. Then when you pull back the onion and you really looked at their life, right? You see that they was getting dicked in the ass from the back, sucking it down and everything, in jail, incarcerated. So they was just big dick suckers. In real life, right? Not just like you just say, go over there and fuck yourself or something to a dude. No, these people were really these type of men in real life. Um, you understand, women bashes to the third degree, where at the end of the day you had people burning your shit up like that. Like, where the fuck, like, how do you harm somebody that bad in your real life that they do that kind of shit to you? I'm gonna tell you, that shit came to my head yesterday, and I meant to take a picture of it, but this will be the second vehicle that I've come upon on a residential street burned to the crisp on a city street. So I'm like, God damn, is bills getting that hard for people that they just burning people's cars on the side of a city street and just left it there for self-destruction. So yeah, we see that. Um, so I've been around this type of personality for too long on here that I really forgot, or I didn't forget that real men live out here. I just forgot to really appreciate where I come from and what men really do around here. How men really do. And that's it. And everybody, you don't have to fuck everybody to get to I guess you don't have to be loose pussy around here to be respected. That part means, what am I saying? As a woman, you don't have to sell what's between your legs in order to make it. You don't have to you don't have to compromise. Let me just put it like that. You don't have to compromise your what's between your legs in order to be successful, or in order to achieve something, or have something done. You just need to put work in being a woman, being supportive, all the things that men really want in a woman, but they don't know how to express. And the reason why I'm saying they don't know how to express it is because what I'm listening to when I hear people describe the woman they have in their life, and the things wrong about women, they never tell you what it is that they're actually looking for. They just tell you what it is that they don't appreciate. I love the fact that I had a man that he must have spoke volumes about me to the people around him, that they give me that much respect to this day. And even when he was no longer here and some shit could have like went down really bad, I remember sitting on the side, and this was at the funeral, and I've said this before, when some shit popped off and the funeral director, knowing he took all the money from Momomo made that payment in full at the table, right? And I'm gonna be clear. The dude that I saw yesterday was the one sitting at the table while I was making that payment at the funeral parlor. So this is not like some half-assed dude. This a made man. When I was sitting there, um, and we was watching shit unfold, and the funeral director came over and said, because Black folks funerals, they like to do this shit, the procession, where everybody gets up and walks in or whatever, all the family or whatever, right? So this whole section over there must have been like about 8 rows of people, about like maybe 10 deep. I'm not even kidding you not. Got up, maybe it's like 6 or 7. It was a lot in each row. Got up and took their ass out to walk in. And I was sitting there saying to myself, well, the funeral director said, when they come in, they all want to sit in the first rows, right? So we were sitting on this other side over here, uh, with my kids in the front row and me in the second row. and all of his boys or whatever you want to call it, childhood friends or whatever. So we was in the friend section, all sitting on this side, right? Good morning, Karen. And we was just all sitting there when this motherfucker came over to me and said they want us to vacate the motherfucking seats. So there was this dude. He reminds me of, you remember Friday, the guy that was the cross-eyed looking guy? I didn't watch the movie, but the one that didn't have no hair, right? The bald-headed dude, right? We had a guy in the projects look like that. He turned around, he's like, Mo. I said, I'm not getting up. And I'm not asking my son to get up. And I'm not asking because my son was sitting in the front row. And my son was sitting in the front row with all his friends, his childhood friends. And all of those boys sitting in that front row that day all had fathers that were friends of Chico that were dead, gone. So my son was like entering into this new group of kids who all was sitting there with him that had lost their father. One dude's dad was the biggest weed seller that we had in the projects. Everybody knew he was a weed seller. He had what do you call it? A stroke. He had a stroke. He had a heart attack on the streets, walking down the street, you know. But he was a dude. He smelled like marijuana. He was everything marijuana. He had a heart attack on the street, or you know, I think they said it was a stroke. But anyway, he had a heart attack on the street. Hang on a moment. With that being said, um, I'm just gonna say they have held me down with it. Where they could, they have. And that was that. And you know, I just said I wasn't going nowhere. And so homie stood up and looked at the funeral too. And he was like, most states. That's it. That's it. That's it. They could sit wherever they want to sit over there. They won't be doing that over here. But yeah, my son, oh, I was telling y'all about the dude when he had the heart attack on the street. And before these motherfuckers could call 911, They was running his pockets. We could see this from the window. They was running his pockets to take whatever he had left in product and whatever he had in cash before they could call 911 and tell them that the man was having the thing. And the kids witnessed this in the street. Like, yo, sometimes like when you look at the hood, you have to say, what experience did people engage in that shapes their thought process moving forward? Winston, that was his name, right? And I remember attending the funeral, and I'm gonna do what they do in the projects. His old lady was like, I don't even want to break bread with these motherfuckers, knowing that they was all in his pockets. That was crazy. The other boy, his father's a big OG, didn't even raise him. Another man raised him, and that dude also big fat motherfucker. Eloise dated him on the side. I couldn't stand his ass. I really couldn't. But she dated him, and he died overweight. Really, I don't know. I didn't even know they made coffins that big because I thought he was a little big fat ass. But honestly, yo, I'm gonna say something about fat, ugly dudes for a minute, right? And you could take this how you want to take it, right? Even though I think it's a proven opposite here on the internet about fat, ugly dudes. But I'm gonna tell you something. That fat, ugly dude in the P's, he had more girlfriends out here than a little bit. Like I was surprised when we sitting around talking who was doing whom over there. And I was just like, yo, that's thing. That dude was a great dude. To the boy that he raised, right there. So sometimes I look at men, and especially the men that I knew growing up, and it seems like to me, for all the fathers that were horrible to their own kids, when they took care of a stranger's kids, their girl kid or whatever, they was a wonderful dad to that child. That's fucking crazy. Your own children, you didn't give that much attention or affection to, but somebody else's children that you was just fucking with the moms, you gave them kids the world, stability, presence. Um, I've had a lot of conversations about fatherhoods or missing a dad inside of a home and not having a dad, and listen to people, oh, I didn't have a father, you had my father, this thing father. And I'm just saying to myself, y'all need to get over your daddy issues. I done sat up here and I listened to the guys on here talk mad shit about women, their mamas, and people keep saying they need to get over their mommy issues. You need to get over your daddy issues. Point blank, there comes a time in your life when you need to get over your parent motherfucking issues and become a goddamn adult. I get so frustrated listening to people angry about their childhood when they fucking 40 years deep or 30 something years deep into being a fucking adult. You're only a child, by law, technically 18 years, but you're really only a child to like mid-teens when you got to put that childish shit aside and really start to decide what you're going to do with your life. So it pisses me off to hear people not want to be accountable for being a motherfucking adult. You want to blame somebody else. You chronologically are a certain age for a reason, but you want to blame everybody else for your failures at that point. Yo, shit don't always go well for all of us all the time, every day. There are, in anything you do in life, there is going to be challenges. If you got a charmed life that has no problems that never come in play, You are living in a motherfucking bubble. Shout out to your ass. But in the reality of things, most of us are presented with challenges every day. And our character has to step forward when you're faced with these challenges. I never understood what mine would be. I tried to run away from all of the responsibility that I just inherited by osmosis. That was just being in the fucking environment that I was in. I sucked up responsibility. Pissed me off in life when I was young. But now in my older years, I look at it and I was like, I was fortunate. I was blessed. Now I just have the ability to sit there and listen and just be like, was it the best of childhood? I don't really know what to tell you. Sometimes people think the materialistic things are the better of the choice. Did you have everything? I always say I had what I needed, and I needed what I had. As an adult, I have what I need, and I need everything that I have. Nothing more, everything less. I learned a lot when the fire came, right? Because the fire took away all my materialistic shit. And it broke me to a point where you had to start again. And I guess I started again in the same favor, building that look, building that up again, right? And then there came the car accident where it broke me with my spirit. And I had to go into war with myself and come out on the other side of me. That meant the challenges that I had to endure with recovery, the challenges I had to endure not to become a junkie, because you could get on painkillers and shit and life could become a different world to you. I had challenges that were ingrained in the start there from being hit by the car. And I've endured them every step of the way. And today is no different. I'm sitting in 2022 as an independent Momo. And Lord knows, I want a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. I want a lot of things, but I understand where my path is taking me. And some of those things are not attainable in the format that I want them in. And I don't need to be broken anymore to understand the stuff I need to fix for myself. I also know that you guys on the internet or having a channel on the internet, y'all can't bring me that fulfillment. You can't fulfill those needs for me either. I come here as an outlet to just get out. But I don't take y'all in, and I don't take you personal anymore. And it's not because let me just say this. My influences will stay my influences for life. We've been through too much down this road not to be. So my YouTube life does have some sprinklings of some folks that are just going to be there. It's just going to be just what it is, because it's part of my making in that road. Just like when I go back to the P's, everything that's in the P's is just me. There are some things that is just my making. You understand? When I go and I hook up with my girl, I can't tell y'all enough how poverty was, what it meant to be a poor Black Puerto Rican, so Latinx, Afro Tina. That's what I was, and that's what I am to this day. I'm Afro Tina. To be an Afro Tina in that environment and survive it, crazy, 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 crazy. I was talking to one of my sisters yesterday, and she said, Mo, you could write a book. This would be a great book. And I was like, nobody want to hear this shit. She was like, no, it'd be a great book because at the end of the day, you're the glue that holds us all together. I am significantly older than me. And she said, even when you was a little one, there was something about you that could keep things together. Maybe it's that listening ear. Maybe it's what brought me here to YouTube in the first place. Maybe it was that world that I hid myself into. But nevertheless, I've been here. I've been me, and I've been doing me. And this last couple of weeks, I've been so into development. Like I know now my channel. Like I was talking to Glib the other day, and I was just like, yo, there's no way. There's no way I did not take this apart sooner and try to really incorporate and listen to the words I'm using, because you people use these words around here and I don't think you understand the foundation of it. But incorporate the structure into my success. That's what I hadn't done for so long. I've been so consumed with who the people was around here or the characters that were coming in these troll accounts around here and making the characteristics of those troll accounts important. I missed out on a significant part of me time. That's it, me time. And when I'm sitting around here, I got me time back for the first time. The problems are there, the challenges are present. But they're just that. They're just the challenge. They're just the challenges. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good. I haven't been good in a long time. This week will be a difficult week in my family because it'll be next weekend. It will be my mother's birthday. And I can feel the energy of everyone on me. No matter how hard the battle, I love me. And that's a beautiful thing to say to yourself. I love me. I love everything about me for me. I love everything about me for me. Um, and that's about it. I moved the financial discussion to next Friday. It's not going to change because it's still it was a process that we're going to go through, that I wanted to go through on the live. But what this week has really proven to me is that I am moving in the right direction, and I'm not mad at myself for taking myself in these directions. I'm not mad at all. And that's about it. I open it up to the chat, comments, concerns. I do think I want to have another influencers meeting though. Shit, fuck that. I love me. You fucking kidding me? Like, and I'm saying that honestly to some people because maybe nobody told you today that they love you. Because they nobody wake up this morning and say, "Hey Mo, I love you." That's a lie though. Because when I went and opened my door and there's the money right there, right? That I already said I'm good. I'm good. That shit says to me, yo, I love you. Like that's love. That's like, yo. So nobody had to say it in words. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. But at the end of the day, that shit is just crazy. That shit is just mad crazy. And you know what? Like that shit is mad crazy. So yeah. But if you wake up and nobody's told you, look in the mirror and tell your motherfucking self, I love you. Or like, bitch, I love you. Like all the time. I love me. I love who I am. And there's some bitch right now, just hey, shout out to you. Which is sad and it no, it's sad and snoogey. Is sitting around here and fucking mad and drunk about it early in the morning because a bitch like me woke up this morning and was in favor. See, a lot of people around here want you to believe that they live in these beautiful fucking houses when they got nothing going for them, inside or out. It's hard sometimes, but you're a strong and beautiful person. It is always good to reflect and be grateful for how far you have come and the achievements you've made. Thank you, Miss G. That's a lot there that you wrote in a statement. And that's not coming from somebody that's trying to butter me up. It's coming from somebody that's watched this side of the journey and heard me tell the story about that side of that side of the road that I was on. Yeah, I love me to death. It wasn't always like that. I looked for people to love me. When I got here to the YouTube, I didn't want none of y'all to love me. I still don't want I still don't want some of this love that's around here because it's fake. It's phony. And at the end of the day, it don't serve me no good because you don't really mean it. And then when you get in your fifis and you can no longer pretend that you like me, then you start to make your videos about how you hate me. But before that, you was loving me all the way up. And the bad part about it is you can't even take that back because your love for me sits on my channel. I can pull up videos at any given moment. And now that I got more talented, I can even get me some little chat with it where you sit up here loving on me. Oh, Mo, your hair is so beautiful. It's healthy, bitch. You got it going on. And then the next time you in your fifis, I can't fucking stand that bitch. Her hair, blah, blah, blah. You got something to say about it. Yo, the same shit people be up in here pretending to love you for is the absolute shit they hate you for. I know it. It didn't, and that philosophy of mine did not start in the 2020s. It started in 2018. When I got here, I said, don't love me. I fell back. I had men come on this platform and tell me they loved me. On it, you can't say, don't say Monica Mo Justice. Oh my God. Where are they now? They can't stand my motherfucking guts. Where are they now? Yo, your love ain't good here. Your money ain't good here. Your shit ain't good here. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy to me. Most of these wolves in sheep clothing have certainly been exposed for me. For me. I agree. People have showed us who they are. The problem is that we didn't believe them. And the worst thing about you, right? When you look at yourself, when you're reflecting on yourself, the worst thing about you is if somebody showed you who they were the first time and you chose to ignore it because that shit they was doing that was so negative wasn't directed at you. So you was like, I know that person over there look grimy, dirty, whatever, but they good to me. So they good. No. And that's the biggest mistake of all that we make up here in this space. Especially in this space, in social spaces, when you're meeting people on social platforms and you're trying to build social relationships that you're trying to transfer into your real life. They don't make the bridge. Think about this COVID thing, right? They say this virus jumped into whatever, and then it transformed into this. That's what these relationships are on social media. You're trying to take somebody that you found on social media who's created a life for themselves on the social media, and you're trying to jump them into your shit and try to make them into your, like, meet your shit. Sometimes those worlds do not coexist. And it's funny because that's y'all word out here. We coexisting. No, you're not coexisting. That's why I don't believe that shit works. And when I heard some of this terminology, I knew then. I said, the devil is in the details. Preach. This was made for worship. The devil is in the details. You can't coexist. Coexisting is saying, I really don't fucking like you, but I'm willing to be around you. No, you don't really fucking like me? Go over there. Have many seats over there. I open the lounge to you. I don't get the opportunity to select who's around me until I open up memberships, right? I start to get a little control, right? You grab a little control. And then people have to figure out if do they want to pay to play around here. But in the meantime, between time, you can have a seat in the lounge. How many of you are sitting in the lounge right now? Now they're going to go running. You sitting there because you know we can't coexist. And the best place you can coexist with me is watching me. So if you're in replay mode, this is where I'm telling you that your shit is really fucked up right now because you can't fucking stand me, but here you are. Ask yourself, has she watched a video of mine in the last day, 2 days, 2 weeks? Your answer to your question is probably going to be no. I don't watch the people I don't like. I keep one channel around that I don't like because it's the gateway to the rest of y'all that I don't like. So understand this. I'm just giving y'all some jewels this morning. Understand this. I stay subscribed to one channel I do not like so that I can have a gateway into what y'all doing. Because all I just need to know is what the ops are up to. I don't need to go in there to see if the ops are successful. Successful. I don't need to see that. I don't need to watch you. I don't need to monitor you. None of that. But are you here now watching me? Do you need to monitor my success? Ask yourself why. as you're unsubscribing? That's what you should be asking yourself. Fuck Monica. Fuck that bitch. You're saying fuck that bitch while you watching this bitch. Hard facts. That's real shit. And it's even harder to antagonize the people that hate you in real space like this. But you know why? Because I'm the baddest bitch that ever lived on here. And see the queen right there? She's the most powerful piece on the board. I'm the most powerful piece in this game. Mo facts. Say I lie. I wait. Say I motherfucking lie. Most powerful piece in this game. And that's because y'all can't give up. Not me. Got nothing to do with me. Hey, the real Yvonne. If you make one video about my life, one video, you come up here drunk as a skunk and you're talking about me, and then people start calling me, talking about, Monica, you in a car accident? Are you okay or whatever? I'm like, no, where y'all getting this from? Somebody's on the YouTube talking about me at that moment. Bitch, I win. Checkmate, I win. Every time you go live talking about me, I win. Another bitch over there, another one over there, right? Every time you talk about me. So I got one bitch that's talking about me that ain't been nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't never gonna be shit. She ain't never gonna do shit. She ain't about shit. Okay? So she ain't going nowhere. And I am not even thinking about her, right? So it's just a moment. She's got crumbs falling off her fucking table. And then there's some people running around just picking them up. And they give me the crumbs, right? There's another bitch over here that's promoting me. And I be like, thank you very much. Because as you promote me, I grow. I think that they're learning, but it's hard because right now I'm just saying, are you watching me now and you're hearing me say this shit and you're feeling like I'm talking to you? And the worst thing about all of these bitches, you want to know the worst thing about all these bitches? We're all motherfucking Leos. Ain't that about a bitch? But I'm still the baddest piece in y'all game. Leave me the fuck alone. That's what you should do. But otherwise, I am going to capitalize, because we all learned what that word meant since we've been around here in the last year. I learned to capitalize on your hate for me. Thank you. One of you make me great, and one of the other ones just fucking with my fate. That's about it. So that's on that note. But yeah, so the gateway to bullshit is just, one channel. And then the rest, and I'm just going to say this, my cutoff game in the cemetery is strong. I just cut y'all off. I'm going to go through that list again, but I think I eliminated cemetery channels from even my vantage view. I think I did. I don't think I got any of y'all. And make this make sense to y'all. Just for the record, right? I ain't got y'all because I didn't like the shit I saw going on at the end of last year. That whole demonstration was just too much for me. And then I definitely got confirmation on January 6th, the day when I guess it's my day of calling, because that's the day when I got hit by the car. A new revelation came to me in 2022. As I was sitting there listening, talking, chatting, in my head was saying, this should not be taking place today. This is not going to turn out good for them. Notice what I said. This is not going to turn out good for them. You're going to be all right, Mo. This is not going to turn out good for them. And I meant it. So yeah, cemetery-based channels out of my grouping. And that's just That's just it. And you'll know if you're a cemetery-based channel because you got a lot, plot, and serial number on your ass around here. You know it. Y'all can't go nowhere. Y'all can't do nothing. Y'all got a group think. Y'all afraid to be independent. You know who y'all are. Because you can't do anything else. At the end of the day, you cannot do anything else because you got to do it collectively. Only the independent channels will pop their ass around here. When y'all break away, let me know. I might be a little forgiving, but at the end of the day, I'm also moving away from stuff. Yep, they're a waste of time. Well, I'm not gonna call anybody a dead channel per se, because I think there's life behind some of this bullshit. But I think the life in the bullshit is that it needs each other. So some things requires fertilizer. You need to feed it. So there's a lot of shit around here that's getting fed. So I just be like, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm just like, whatever. I know I'm over it. And that's it. And you don't have my blessings, one shit. See, baddest piece in a game. Not even close to partaking in that. So I thank me for my trip to the hood. And I appreciate, the universe for keeping me humble and reminding me just when I'm willing to give up on man, and that could be man or woman, just as I'm willing to give up on man, there comes a moment where I get a rise. And that's about it. There's life in the cemetery, the real Yvonne, because as in a real cemetery, you've got visitors. Visitors is what keeps the cemetery beautiful. I can show y'all where my parents lay to rest, and I'm gonna be very. I'm having this argument now because I'm writing my will, and in it I'm planning the stuff for my kids so they don't have to worry about none of the stuff that I had to worry about. But I don't ever want my children to feel like I was their responsibility when they were my responsibility. And I know that as a parent, there comes a time when you have to let your children go. And I'm not one that's prone to say I would never let my children go. But I will say this, they live because I wanted them. And I have taken that responsibility to the level. So I'm talking to my friend whose husband is buried in that cemetery, and her dad is in that cemetery. And their locations, their final resting space is across from from where my parents are at. And I was like, what the hell? So she says to me, well, Monica, you could get one, because they send you all these flyers and shit, right? All this information where you can get like in the same area, whatever. So she's like, well, I'm gonna be laid to rest right down things. She says, I'll be okay over there. She's like, I'm surprised you would not want to be with me. I was like, well, girl, let me tell you something. That place is too damn expensive and it got too many damn rules. And I don't want to be dead and have rules. They sent an email for Christmas, right? Telling folks that you can put down Christmas ornaments or whatever. And here's when you can start putting down your Christmas ornaments. Then they sent another fucking email a couple of days ago and was like, yo, come move your Christmas ornaments. We're going to throw your shit in the garbage. And it's like the email came like maybe 2 days, 3 days before you had to move your shit before they throw them out. And I'm like, God damn it, that's crazy. And that was just crazy to me. That was absolutely crazy to me. And I said, well, I can't do much. I can't do much there. So that was just like, whoa, that's a whoa moment for me. It is a big whoa moment for me. And I said to her, yeah, no, it's too many rules. It's too, she was like, it's clean, it's well kept. I was like, yeah, because it's too many fucking rules over there. Give me one of those dirty cemeteries like the one that I have on the thumbnail with all the different type, height, size, whatever, right? Like not, I don't want to look like Arlington National Cemetery with just this one look, but they have like this one look down there. And I was just like, I said, people are probably happy there, but that's it. So she's like, well, when I go to rest there, that's where I'm going to be at. And, same kind of theory. Like, I got it all taken care of for my kids. So now I'm going to have to go look and see what's the appropriate place for me. Because, when she got cremated, I was all with the position of whatever y'all want to do with me, y'all could do with me. But I'm no longer certain if that's my position, whatever y'all want to do with me, if that's what's to come. But that is what it is, because I want to make sure that everything is right. Every moment is right. That's about it. Well, there's no comments, concerns, or whatever from the chat. Um I'll leave it like that. But these folks are like, life is really too short. It really is. Cherish the people around you that really make shit happen for you or want to make shit happen for you. And be genuine to yourself. Today's broadcast was brought to you by the letters M and O. And I've got to go.